I'm pleased to welcome back to the show John from Brisbane band Cedarsmoke to do a track by track through the band's latest EP, Everything is the Worst. John, thanks for joining me again, mate. How have you been?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Always a pleasure.
Back on the show, even in this way.
Oh, yeah. However, I can get you back on, man.
Likewise.
Everything is the Worst is obviously a lyric taken from the latest single, Keep Passing Through the Open Windows. But is there a reason behind naming the EP after that?
Yeah, so that was like the line before. Like I knew I was going to call the EP that before I wrote that song or finished writing that song or put the line there. Just everything that was writing about was like I just got really interested in death and just some like dark topics. So I thought like, but I meant it as a joke. Like everything is the worst because it's like everything can't be the worst. The worst is one thing. So I thought make a bit of fun of it, and like people say that sometimes it's like a joke, like oh everything's the worst. So I thought of like just to make a bit of fun of the EP.
And so, was it before you'd written pretty much any of the songs from the EP or just that specific track?
Maybe I can't remember. It was so long ago. Like that was like written like early 2018 or something like that. So I think so. I think about it.
And how was the actual recording process for this EP? I know last time we spoke on the show, you guys said that you live tracked the majority of the instruments. Was that a different process, or have you worked like that for previous recordings?
Yeah, that's how we've always done it. Which is cool because it's like the band plays like we rehearse and stuff like that, and that's pretty much what we sound like live for the most part, and how we play together. So that's cool, and yeah, it was just good to. What we did more this time was like probably more overdubs of like different instruments. So like we recorded the piano parts like separately and like those like synth sounds and like the banjo and that
And so, which track took the longest to come together? Were they all
um,
pretty similar?
I feel like Pure Heroin was like had the most like things we wanted to get in there and different sort of sounds and that were like overdubbed and that. So that was the one I was like stressing about before, like how we're gonna get this done. And but it worked out really well, and it's like that's pretty much what we're aiming for.
Mm. Nice. And what was the first track written for the EP, if you remember?
Yeah, that was also the first track written, Pure Heroin. So yeah, I kind of like had that, and I just thought like the way like we demoed it was like had like the piano and synths and stuff. So I thought with the rest of it, like most of the songs were written on the piano as well, and wanted to keep like some of the elements from that song like through the EP. So like where we had a couple other songs that like piano based, and then I'd add some synths where we could, and just so that some of it was cohesive.
Hmm. And the EP obviously has quite a diverse and varied sound throughout. Was it quite a struggle ordering the track list to have it all fit together?
I love ordering like checklists and stuff. It takes a lot of time, but yeah, definitely like very thought out how it flowed. But I think it's good to like, you know, set things out. It's good to have like the varied sort of tracks. So like having some upbeat ones and then slow ones and the way you pace that out. And it's like, I don't know, I always appreciate it when it's done well on albums. So I try my best to do that stuff.
And so, was it a similar kind of process that you did with the previous recordings? Did it come? Was it a bit easier this time around, or?
Yeah, like I mean, the first time we recorded, like didn't even know what we were doing or how we are gonna release it or anything like that. So it was like we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't do any singles. We just like made it. We just recorded as many songs as we could in the weekend and put it on Bandcamp and everywhere that we could, and that was it. But like this one, like we've done it a few times, so it was like knew we were making an EP going into it. So yeah, I sort of had ideas of like Pure Heroin will be the first song and that sort of thing.
And so, what can you tell us about the artwork? Who is the artist, and did you actually approach him with an idea, or did you kind of just give him free reign?
He goes by Freak Street. He's a Brisbane artist. He's awesome, obviously. Like that is great artwork. He did our last EP as well, Down to Beat Him, and like so we sort of asked him hoping he'd say yes to do some artwork, and yeah, so he did. And even with last time, he sort of asked like what sort of ideas we had, and like the last one we said like, oh, it's kicked out of Eden and this and that, and he listened to the songs and that sort of thing. But for this one, it was Tom's idea to like have like the Grim Reaper in the supermarket and stuff. And this was like well before COVID stuff.
Yeah.
So I think Tom's a bit clairvoyant or something. But the artist added I think was like the finishing touch was the toilet paper on the aisle. So that was his doing. He deserves the credit for that.
Yeah, definitely. You're almost pushing on early Simpsons territory here.
Yeah, I know. That's creepy when you go back to some of that stuff. But.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm going through all the first couple of seasons at the moment. So,
oh, really?
Getting a new appreciation for that.
Yeah, stuff. I know. When I've gone back to early Simpsons, it's like this is pretty good as well. Like I think like it starts to peak a bit later, but like even the early stuff is good.
Yeah, honestly, season 5 is something else.
Yeah, what's
every
like
episode?
College and shit like that is like that's easy. Yeah,
that's peak, man.
Yeah, kind of know Brian.
Yeah, right. Oh, now moving on to the track by track of Everything Is the Worst. First song, Pure Heroin. What can you tell us about it, John?
Well, outside of some of the stuff I already mentioned, it was like, I wrote it on the piano, and that was one where I was like, I sort of had the chorus and then was just like writing lyrics, like without any idea of melody, and just thinking like, I'm going to have fun writing and then see whatever sticks, like I can squeeze into a melody. So that was fun, and I started writing it, and it was like just like thinking of like pop culture references for like, I don't know, bad romances and stuff like that. But then I started like, and one of the ideas was like Sid and Nancy. But then once I started to like, I like went online to like find some reports of like just to get a couple details and stuff. And then once I started doing that, I just went down the rabbit hole with their story, and I was like, fuck, this is so interesting that like instead of like it just being one line, it was like about them. It's like, no, it's gonna be like the whole song and their story, looking up the crime of like her murder and that sort of thing. Yeah.
So the more you found out about it, the more it changed the actual song.
Yeah.
What was that? So what was the actual idea? Just to explore. The initial idea was just to explore bad toxic relationships, or?
Yeah, kind of like the first verse is like that stayed. It was like as like cliche like Hollywood romances and stuff. So I was just like writing about like the films and that, and just being like, okay, that's fiction. Like now I'm going to show like reality. And then I looked up like, and Jane Austen was one, and like, cause she wrote like great romance novels sort of thing, and like, she died alone and never got married and stuff like that. So I thought like that's like fiction versus reality. And then so I was gonna just reference a bunch of stuff like that, and like Romeo and Juliet still gets the line, and because it's the cliche one. But I thought Sid and Nancy is like Romeo and Juliet, but for like the 20th century.
Yeah. Right. And so
drugs.
What was the idea behind the track being the intro? Was it very always an obvious choice?
I think it was, especially like the intro sounds of like Tom's got that like sort of ethereal kind of synthy sound that like kicks it off, and then it's just piano, and then the band comes in. So I thought that's a cool way to start. Like I think like Lewis, our drummer, doesn't like, he comes in on that chorus, so, and then like and everyone sort of builds in. So I liked it how like the guys are coming in more like
definitely. And so this is the first track coming up from Cedarsmoke's Everything Is the Worst. This is Pure Heroin. You're listening to Emerge.
We screen test the world with women 18 to 32, but when he says something he didn't mean to say, he'll have to go running to the airport in the pouring rain. But there's a glitch in this reality, cause you know how it ends after there's enough B-roll footage, money left for advertising. So as the cast and crew go home, get the editors on the phone, the studios to wrap this one up. The director calls, cause love hurts. Yeah, that's what I heard. And every bridge built ends up getting burned. And it seems looks like reality, then dreams, 'cause no alarm can wake you up from that deep sleep.
And that was Pure Heroin, the first track from Cedarsmoke's Everything Is the Worst. Now coming up, we've got the second single, and the second track, this is Keep Passing Through the Open Windows.
This one, I think I like the sounds that were used on it. Thought it was a bit different. Like Reese had really cool effect on the bass that he plays, and that really like drives the song. And it was real punchy and stuff like that. And I liked the synth like Tom uses. There's a couple synths in there that like sounded really cool to me. That I thought was cool that the other guys put on. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, I think it feels like it was one of our poppiest songs, and which is like good for a change. So I thought it was a good way to like after the long intro to put a quick poppy song next.
And lyrically, what do you explore on the track?
The title's like a reference to like suicide. I just got it from this book, The Hotel New Hampshire, and that like the sort of the mantra like the characters say to each other is like keep passing the open windows, which is kind of like their euphemism for like don't jump out the window sort of thing. So I always liked that and always thought I'd use that in a song one day. This is the day.
And so how long, when did you start writing this track? Has it been around for quite a while?
It was probably like the next one written as well, but I sort of had the melody for it for a long time, and I thought it was like, oh, that's too poppy kind of thing. And then I thought I'm just gonna write like real like dark lyrics so that lessens that like bubblegum from it. Yeah.
Sure. Coming up now, this is Keep Passing the Open Windows. This is Cedarsmoke from Everything Is the Worst.
And it's a long, long day. They're all the same. When you're taking care not to edge too close to the precipice. But it's a long way down, so I've been told. And life can be a drag, yeah, it's way to get on. You found a cups on black. If you leave yourself exposed, you gotta keep passing the open windows. It can be tiring.
And that was Keep Passing the Open Windows. And coming up now, this is the Grim Reaper's song.
Yeah, this one's fun. I like that we try to like a bit less with the guitars, like of just guitar chords. So it's mostly like driven by like Tom's piano and Reese's bass line. I think my favorite part of the song is like the bass in it, and there's like a cool bass riff at the end that Reese does. Yeah, that's probably like another one that's like also pretty poppy, but the lyrics are not poppy.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, I like to do that, like to make it different in that way. And yeah, this was another one that was like really fun to write the lyrics and get those like historical references and yeah, I think I like songs better when I like the lyrics and it makes it funner to sing over and over again.
For sure. And so where did the idea first come from for the to write the lyrics this way? Is it it's from the perspective of the Grim Reaper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's first person and written by the Grim Reaper sort of thing. Like there's the song Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones, and that's like from the first point perspective of the devil. But I know there's also the book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. Yeah, I knew that was written from the point of the Grim Reaper, so I avoided reading it until I'd written the song. And then I wrote the song because I didn't want to copy anything. So I wrote the song and then I read the book after. But it's pretty different. Yeah, so probably stole it a bit from the Rolling Stones and from that writer, but like I specifically avoided that book until after.
And how was it to write compared to the other tracks on the EP?
It was actually really quick, but even it seems more. I have trouble like with the simpler stuff. Like this one's just rolled out like so quick.
Yeah.
And I just because it was like I just knew what I was doing. I had so much fun, and I was like even checking like Revelations in the Bible to like find some good references there. So that's where like some of the stuff from the second verse comes from. Like the pale horse and stuff is like from there. But yeah, I just had fun, and then I was like, yeah, The Plague and like Arthur Miller, because he wrote Death of a Salesman. Then I read that like around that time.
And so, did the lyrics for this song come before the instrumentation, or was it first?
Nah, it was like instrumentation first. So that usually is the way I do it, because like I used to write lyrics first, and then you just can't fit them to a song or find the right music for it. So I do the other way around as much as I can. I got like sick of like having to get rid of lyrics that couldn't fit to music. Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Coming up now, this is track 3 from Everything Is the Worst. This is the Grim Reaper's song. You're listening to Cedarsmoke's Everything Is the Worst.
That's when I came out to play, and there are those who think that Lazarus got away. But he's up there right now singing with the saints. Arthur Miller and his salesmen, I got them too, sentenced to eternity in a padded room. Call me anything you wanna, I ain't got no name and no number. You can't see me, can't touch me, but that's only you won't be thinking of. And now you don't ever get to know why I know someone take you run out of time. Call me anything you wanna.
And that was the Grim Reaper song by Cedarsmoke. And coming up now, we've got one of my favorite tracks from the band. This is Local Anesthetic.
Oh, this one has some cool guitaring by Yanni, our lead guitarist, and he's like a lot of like ad lib stuff in the verses, which I really like. And yeah, there's that I really like in this song, and the bass as well. There's like cool like this bass. The bass does like a lead part at the end as well, which really makes the song for me. And even like Yanni's guitar solos only like just a few notes, like nothing too crazy, which I think was like really good. And sometimes that's like so much better than show off guitar solos. And, like not to like diss Slash or anything, but that's a bit cheesy. Yeah, and backing vocals by Reese as well. He did backing and Keep Passing as well, which I think like could be the first time he's sung on any of our songs, but I thought like it sounds really great. Like yeah, definitely like after hearing his voice, it's like fuck, he's got to do more vocals, I think.
And so was this one of the later tracks written for the CP?
It was kind of the same as Keep Passing, where I had the melody for a while, and like yeah, and I thought it was too poppy, but for like the last one, and then it was still in my head all the time, and then I probably wrote it later, but yeah.
And so did Keep Passing and this track change much from initially writing?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I didn't know, like, I think I wrote Local Anesthetic on the piano as well, but then because we had Pure Heroin, it was kind of similar chord progression and that sort of thing. So I was like, let's make it more guitaring. And even like when we were recording, Cam Smith, he records at incrementals, like his idea to put in the acoustic guitars and stuff like that, yeah, it's just far away from how I wrote it, which is cool. And, like the band definitely makes it a lot better than start playing it at home.
Oh, please. Coming up now, this is Local Anesthetic, track 4, taken from Cedarsmoke's Everything Is the Worst.
I used to know nothing, now I know less than that. Local anesthetic, generalized dream, naked in the class, losing all your teeth, stimulants to wake up, depressants to help you sleep. So you never calm down, now this is just what we do. Stay put, man, you just wanna move. Now don't ever go outside, so you can keep dreaming away.
And that was Local Anesthetic. And now we've got the last track from their EP, Everything Is the Worst. This track is called Feel Bad Hit of the Summer.
Yeah, this one, I think like it's like the most different on the EP, like where some of the other stuff is pretty like poppy and the synth and stuff like that. This one has like banjo and mandolin and that. But I think we really liked it, and like I know Reese was like keen to record it, and so was I. So yeah, we just thought, screw it, we'll just chuck it on. Yeah, it was different for us for like getting the banjo in and that, but it still has like the piano, which is the same as like Pure Heroine and Grim Reaper's song. Yeah, like the title's like from that Quintet Stone Age song, Feel Good Hit of the Summer. So this is the Feel Bad Hit of the Summer. But yeah, and some of the like story or the characters is like continuing from one of our other songs, Waiting to Die.
Mm.
So I sort of thought of it as like, yeah, like part 2 of that song.
Is that Emmeline?
Yeah, it's like I use the same character, and then in this one it says like Still Waiting to Die. So maybe I'll finish it off. Like there might be a trilogy.
It might be a trilogy. And so what? I was meaning to ask: is there a story behind the character Emmeline?
No, it's just like I don't write about like anything that happens to me or true or people that I know or anything. I just think fiction's better. But I liked having like time pass like in a song sort of does it, because you only get like a short amount of time to like do a story or something in a song. So yeah, like sort of trying to like have like verses as like a long time has passed in between, and that. Yeah, I like writing stuff like that.
Nice. And how was this track to come together compared to the rest of the EP? Was it quite an easy process?
No, I feel like this was the hardest one, and like the one we were rehearsing last, and I think it was still like a week or something before we recorded. We started playing it like differently, and that's sort of what it's like now. Yeah, so I mean, all's well that ends well. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, fair. Thanks for joining me, John.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure, mate. Coming up now, this is the last track from Cedarsmoke's Everything Is the Worst. This Feel Bad Hit of the Summer.
Driving around the streets of my town, nothing's different, but it don't feel the same. Ran into Evelyn at the supermarket last week. I hope I see her around again, 'cause too much free time can melt your mind. So I will stay here anyway, even if it drives me up the wall. But it's alright, it'll be okay. It's better to jump off than it is to fall.
Thank you for listening to our track by track of Everything Is the Worst with John from Cedarsmoke. You can enjoy the full EP and the band's previous material on all major streaming platforms. You can also purchase any of the quintet's work from cedarsmokemusic.bandcamp.com. You can also grab a beautiful t-shirt with the EP cover on it via the fine folk at themerchdesk.com.au. Follow the band on Facebook and Instagram at Cedarsmoke Music. We also recorded a stripped-back rendition of the EP's closing track Feel Bad Hit of the Summer, which is available to watch on our Facebook and Insta pages at Emerge Radio Show. Thank you for listening and supporting local music. We love you.